Hello and welcome to the MCQ lecture series. In today's class, I'll be dealing with some of the important MCQs with respect to microeconomics, which is the economics special paper for SYBA and MA Part 1. So let's get started. In today's class, I'll be dealing with multiple choice questions with respect to theory of production. So we'll start with what production function particularly means, and then we are going to build our idea of law of variable proportions as well as law of returns to scale. So in this class, I'll be talking more about inputs and outputs and how the process of production particularly carries out. So let us look at the first question. The first question is dash is a process by which inputs are combined and transformed into outputs of goods and services for which there is a demand in the market. So what is happening is what do you name such a process in which inputs are combined and they are transformed into outputs for which there is a demand in the market? Whether you call such a process to be marketing, whether you call that process to be production, whether you call that process to be consumption, or none of the above. So here it is clearly stated that inputs are combined and transformed into outputs of goods and services which have certain demand in the market. So therefore here the correct answer has to be B, production. So production is a process by which inputs are combined and transformed into outputs of goods and services for which there is a market in demand. So I hope the first question, which is talking about the definition of production, is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question, which is talking about in economics, the process of production does not merely transforms input into outputs. So in economics, what is happening? The process of production is not merely transforming inputs into outputs. That is not only the physical transformation, but it is also doing what? It is also doing dash. It is also a creation or creating or value adding or value added. It is also profit maximization. It is also sales and none of the above. So here I am saying that inputs are transformed into output. That is not the mere work of economics of production per se, but it also helps in creation as well as value addition. So therefore option A is the correct answer. How? Let us assume that there is wheat. Now this wheat is the input, and this input is going to be transformed into an output called as, say, bread. Now this bread is the physical transformation of it, but the value added is going to be more, because here the value of per kg of wheat was rupees 30 per kg. Here the value of bread per kg is going to be 60 per kg. So therefore there is a value addition which is happening from wheat to bread, and economics talks about that as well, or the process of production talks about that as well, not merely about the transformation of inputs into outputs. So here the correct answer is A. It does not merely talk about transformation of inputs to outputs, but also about value addition as well. So therefore option A, value addition, is the correct answer to this particular question. I hope the example of wheat and bread is pretty much clear. I mean, it is giving you a sense of how the value addition is happening. Okay, so this is how you can look at the economics of process of production per se. I hope this question is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question, which is a very simple question. The question is, which of the following denotes factors of production? Here the question is, which of the following denotes factors of production? The first option is land, second is labor, third is capital, and last is all of the above. So here whenever we are looking at factors of production, so there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. So these are four factors of production. So therefore I have mentioned three here, and therefore the correct answer here is option D, all of the above. That means land, labor, capital, and there's one more which I have just mentioned, which is entrepreneur. So these are factors of production. One more concept here, if at all the question is which of the following denotes factor payments. So the factor payment for land is going to be rent, for labor it is going to be wages, for capital it is going to be interest, and for entrepreneur it is going to be profits. Okay, so these are factor payments. These were factors of production, and the remuneration to these factors of production are called as factor payments, and they are rent, wages, interest, and profits. So I hope this one question explains two important concepts associated with the process of production per se. Yeah, let us now move to the next question. The question is, the supply of a product depends upon dash. The supply of a product depends upon A, cost of production, B, mood of the producer, C, the underlying weather, and D, none of the above. So here these two are very obsolete. I mean, weather and mood of the producer cannot have a very drastic or substantial impact on the supply of a product, but the cost of production is going to have an impact on the supply of a product, and therefore option A, cost of production, is the correct answer to this particular question. So option A, the supply of a product depends upon the cost of production of that particular product. So I hope this question is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question. The next question is in a sense talking about cost of production depends upon what? Now supply of product depends upon cost of production. So cost of production in turn also depends upon something else. So what are these factors on which the cost of production depends upon? So the question is, the cost of production depends upon what? And the underlying options are physical relationship between inputs and outputs. Second is the prices of inputs. The third is laws governing the process of production of goods and services. Fourth is all of the above. So here when you look at these options, all the three options, that is physical relationship between inputs and outputs, the prices of inputs, as well as the laws governing the process of production of goods and services, have an impact on cost of production, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this particular question. I hope the question is pretty much clear. The supply of goods depend upon cost of production, but cost of production in turn depends upon these following three mentioned things. So please pay attention to how you see a linkage or interconnection between these three. Let us now move to the next question. The next question is, dash is a functional relationship between physical inputs and outputs of the firm. Physical inputs and outputs of a firm. A functional relationship between inputs and outputs is called as what? A, production function, B, consumption function, C, saving function, D, none of the above. So here it is pretty much clear that the production function is the functional relationship between physical inputs and the outputs of a firm. Particularly, production function is denoted by capital Q, which is talking about the output. Output is a function of labor, which is an input, capital, which is an input, machinery, which is an material, which is an input, etc. There can be a number of inputs which we can look at. So this is what the production function is talking about, and in terms of words you can write this equation as production function is a functional relationship between inputs and the output. The way in which you vary the inputs, the way in that fashion the outputs will vary per se. Yeah, so this is how you can look at this question. The answer is option A, production function. So production function is the functional relationship between physical inputs and physical outputs of a firm per se. Yeah, so I hope this question is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question, which is talking about algebraically production function can be written as how, or in what fashion. Yeah, so here I've given you already how you can write the production function in a mathematical form. So Q is a function of L comma K comma M. So here let us look at the options. The first option is Q is a function of L comma M comma K. Then B is Q is equal to 1 upon L comma K. Q is equal to the sum of L, M and K, and then last is none of the above. So here we have seen here already that this is how the production function can be written in mathematical form, and therefore option A, Q is a function of L comma M comma K. L means labor, M is the materials, K is capital. So therefore this is how you can look at the mathematical form of production function in economics. I hope the question is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question, which is very important question. You might get such questions in your paper, so please pay attention. When the quantity of one input is kept constant and the quantity of other input is varied, I'm looking at the quantities of one input and the other input. Okay, so for example we have two inputs here. Okay, Q, let us assume that we have two inputs L comma K. So what I am doing is here I am keeping one constant and I'm varying the other. That means one is kept constant and the other is variable. So what do you call such a production function? Whether you call it to be a short run production function, whether you call it to be a long run production function, you call it to be a medium run production function, or none of the above. So here please pay attention, when one factor is one input per se or factor of production, if at all it is kept constant and the other is varied, you call such a production function to be a short run production function. So option A, short run production function, is the correct answer to this particular question. Mind you, one input is kept constant and the other is variable. So that situation is the short run situation, because it is pretty obvious that in the shorter run you cannot vary both the inputs, because it is really difficult to vary both the inputs in the shorter term or shorter run per se. Yeah, so it is short run production function. Let us now move to the next question, which is in a sense talking about this but in a different fashion. The short run production function, where one input is variable and the other input is fixed, is also called as what? A short run production function is also called as what? Short run production function is also called as what? We have seen what short run production function means. It means that one input is variable and the other is fixed. So what do you call such a production function? Whether you call it to be laws of variable proportions, whether you call it to be laws of returns to scale, whether you call it law of demand or law of supply. So here please pay attention, whenever one variable is fixed and the other is or one factor input is fixed and the other is variable, you call it to be law of variable proportions. So here labor and capital, one is fixed and the other is variable. Okay, so law of variable proportions is the correct answer. It is applicable only in the shorter run. Law of variable proportion is applicable in the shorter run, and that is why it is called as short run production function. And what is happening is, one input in the process of production is kept fixed and the other is allowed to vary. So this is how you can look at the short run production function or the law of variable proportions in economic analysis. I hope this question is pretty much clear. Very important questions. Let us now move to the next question, which is in same lines, which is saying, when the quantity of all the inputs in the process of production are variable. Now what I am saying is, both labor as well as capital are variable. Here the capital was fixed and labor was allowed to vary, but in this question, all the inputs, that means labor as well as capital or materials, all are variable. Okay, all are variable. Now such a production function is called as what? Whether you call it to be short run production function, long run production function, medium run, or none of the above. So here the correct answer is long run, because it is possible to vary both the factors, or for that matter any factor inputs, to vary or allow to vary in the longer run. So therefore, whenever the quantity of all the inputs are kept variable, or if they are variable in the process of production, that particularly means that you're looking at long run production function. Okay, I hope this question is pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next question, which is in a sense talking about this very idea but in some other terms. It is saying the long run production function, where all inputs are variable, is also called as what? Long run production function, where all inputs are variable, is also called as what? Whether you call it to be law of variable proportions? No, because we have seen here law of variable proportions is related to short run production function. So this cannot be the answer. Law of returns to scale, law of demand, law of supply. We know what law of demand and supply are. Both the options are obsolete. So therefore here the correct answer is law of returns to scale. So what is happening is, law of returns to scale is talking about the long run production function, and it means that all the inputs are variable. On the contrary, law of variable proportions is looking at the short run production function, wherein one input is variable and the other input is fixed in the process of production. I hope this idea of what production function particularly means, how do you write it mathematically, and what are the ways in which you can look at short run production function or the laws of variable proportions and long run production function or the law of returns to scale is pretty much clear. Very important concept as far as the multiple choice questions are concerned. You might get questions from this session in your university exam. So please pay attention to this lecture and please stay tuned for more. Thank you.